Philadelphia has it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of DSM Pre Game Live. Of course, tonight is the Sixers game night. They are hosting the Golden State Warriors, coming in for a showdown right here in the city of Philadelphia. Friday night, prime time on national television, ESPN. So this should be a fun one. Obviously, the Warriors are down quite a few stars, so it won't be as star-studded, but still, nonetheless, a big game for the Sixers as they try to get further ahead of that 500 mark record-wise on the season and still just continue to build good trends here, right? Yeah, that's what the Sixers are trying to do. And what better way than a depleted Warriors team? Let's go out here and take some steps in the right direction if you're the Sixers tonight. But before we get into all of that, of course, make sure you are subscribing to the DSM Media YouTube channel. That is what this is all about. That is where we are trying to grow our community. And we want to hear from you guys, right? Make sure to comment on the show if you have any thoughts. If I'm saying something stupid, just let me know. That is what you're here for. That's what I'm here for, to ultimately entertain you and interact with you. So, yes, welcome to the channel. We're going to get into predictions, best bets, player of the game, all of the above. Yeah, Harden's going to fry. Hey, he should, right? Maybe no Klay Thompson tonight. Definitely no Steph Curry. So that takes a lot of stress off of the defensive end for Harden when you don't have those shooters out there. But nonetheless, we'll see what the Sixers got, right? Yes, and then, of course, just hope you all enjoy. That's for me. If you could tell if my voice sounds a little weird, I sound a little congested, I found out I do have COVID. So I'm not excited to share that, not excited that I have that and that I'm going through it. But nonetheless, symptoms aren't too bad as of right now, and we're working through it. And I'm still going to get the content out because that's kind of all that I can do right now, is stay in the house and talk to myself or talk to you guys, right? So yeah, I'm happy to be here. But if you see me taking a drink of water or if I'm sounding a little congested or funny, that is exactly why. I found out I had COVID, me and my fiance. So hopefully we're feeling better over the next week or so, but we'll keep you posted. Feeling all right for now. Before we get into the content of the show, nonetheless, we always got to shout out the sponsors over at Gents Barber Lounge. DSM Media is brought to you by Gents Barber Lounge. Check out one of the two great locations in Fishtown and Old City and book your appointment today. Gents owns the craft, and it shows rated the #1 barbershop on Yelp in the Philadelphia area. Multiple award-winning barbers and being able to handle any style of cut, adult or kid. Here is a look at some of Gents' work. All right. Shout out to Gents Barber Lounge. Be sure to check out gentsbarberlounge.com and set up your appointment today in Fishtown or Old City. And of course, I want to shout out our other sponsors over at luxidinshop.com. Be sure to check out luxidin.com. Use code DSM at checkout for 25% off and free shipping. They sell very fine jewelry for a very nice price. Be sure to check out luxidin.com. With that being said, let's get into the game tonight. Obviously, it was supposed to be a much bigger matchup when you talk about the Warriors coming into the city of Philadelphia, take on Joel Embiid, James Harden, and the rest of the Sixers unit. But no Steph Curry, no Andrew Wiggins, no Draymond Green tonight. Klay Thompson's a game-time decision. They've actually pulled James Wiseman up from their G League squad. So we may get to see a little bit of James Wiseman on Embiid tonight, which is interesting enough. But nonetheless, this is not the star-studded matchup that you would expect when the Warriors are coming into town and to play the Philadelphia 76ers. And I will say this, for Sixers fans that already had tickets to the game, you were heading over there tonight to watch the Warriors, part of you grabs those tickets because you're getting to see Steph Curry. You're getting to see some of these legends that play for the Warriors. And I feel bad for you. This is one of two opportunities that the Sixers actually play the Warriors in a season. And only one of those opportunities come in the city of Philadelphia. So we won't see Steph Curry in the city of Philadelphia until next season, right? So that's kind of the bummer, if for the people that had tickets out there, we're getting close to Christmas time. A lot of stars that should have been in this game just aren't. Not even Tyrese Maxey, right? We're missing one of our stars. So I'm sorry about that. Hoping that you still enjoy the game if you're heading that way, if you're already out there. But nonetheless, that does kind of stink. But let's go over a quick overview of each of the teams coming into this one. We'll start with Philadelphia. Obviously, that's the home team. That's our squad here on the Sixers pregame show on DSM Media. So the Sixers coming into this one, they're 15-12 on the season, 3 games above 500. That's 5th in the Eastern Conference. They're about 6 games back of the 1 seed. Obviously, Boston is off to a tremendous start, and they don't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. But nonetheless, 5th in the Eastern Conference. They've actually won 3 in a row coming into this one tonight. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're 10-5 at home. That's a great record at home. You'd like to see a little bit better. 3 main players coming into this game tonight. No Tyrese Maxey for the Sixers. So we have Joel Embiid with 33.3 points per game. He's actually able to qualify for all the statistics for season wide. So now we can start talking about Embiid in that MVP combo. Obviously, he's not up to the level of those at the top of the Eastern Conference, Western Conference standings, but he will get into that combo as the season goes on. He starts to play more consistently. James Harden, 22.1 points per game, 10.8 assists per game. He's facilitating, he's sharing the rock. That is the biggest thing he brings to the Sixers team. Tobias Harris, 17 points per game, 40% from the three-point line. Love what he's doing from the three-point line, knocking down open shots. It's only going to get easier with Harden back as far as Tobias's role. But those are going to be your 3 main guys coming in for the Sixers right tonight. Obviously, shout out to D'Anthony Melton. He should be back in the lineup tonight. Obviously, Shake Milton, George Niang. I believe Daniel House is also active tonight. Korkmaz out. Don't know if that means much to you guys, but Korkmaz is out tonight. Looking at the Golden State Warriors coming into this one, they're a little different, right? But still close enough. But these injuries that are piling up for them don't make it look good. You look at the Warriors right now, excuse me, they're 14-15. They're 10th in the Western Conference right now. They've actually lost 2 in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10. This is the biggest kicker right here. They're 2-13 on the road. That's with Steph Curry. That's with Klay Thompson. That's with Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, the whole 9. They are 2-13 on the road. They play really bad on the road, and it comes down to their defense. They don't play very good defense on the road. And that record on the road is actually the worst in the NBA coming from Golden State, and they actually have one of the best home records, believe it or not, out there in San Francisco. But nonetheless, looking at who's coming in, top Warriors coming into this game, maybe they have Klay tonight, maybe. 18.7 points per game. He's shooting 38.4% from the three-point line. Jordan Poole is going to be the guy tonight. Some people talking, right? Should Steph and Poole be the new Splash Brothers instead of Klay? I wouldn't go that far, but Jordan Poole is definitely a good fill-in when you're talking about taking Steph Curry out of the lineup. He's at 17.9 points per game, 4.6 assists per game, 31.9% from the three-point line. So he's playing really well, following up from last year. Jordan Poole, he's a guy that can really explode. That's why the Sixers really need to be careful tonight. You look, if Klay Thompson plays tonight, Jordan Poole's also playing. Those are 2 guys that can hit you for 4 or 5 threes in one game, right? So you have to watch yourself, even with all these players out for the Golden State Warriors. The third player, you can kind of pick and choose what the rest of the guys are going to be putting in there tonight. I look at Jonathan Kuminga. He's looked really well this season as far as doing the little things for the Golden State Warriors. He's going to be prompted into a much bigger role tonight. Probably see some time on James Harden, maybe some time on Tobias Harris. Kevin Looney, that's an interesting one, right? He's the one, if he's in the starting lineup, I know they brought James Wiseman up. He's probably not going to start, right? Coming up from the G League. Kevin Looney in there. He'll be going up against Embiid. I'd imagine Embiid's going to get him into foul trouble really quick. So we'll probably start to see those big men cycle in and out for the Warriors. But nonetheless, pick your poison. Should see a little Moses Moody tonight, I would imagine. Some of the younger guys, right? Dante DiVincenzo, he should get some major run tonight. So that'll be interesting for the Villanova fans out there in the Philadelphia area nonetheless. Let's talk about keys to victory tonight, guys. And so when we're talking about keys to victory, let me get my stats pulled up here. The first place we want to start with keys to victory tonight. Don't sleep. It's exactly what I was talking about. Do not sleep on this Warriors team. You have a great opportunity tonight to get your fourth win in a row, right? Start a 4-game win streak, keep this thing going, keep the positive vibes going, keep yourself elevating above that 500 mark so we don't even have to think about it anymore. Getting back down to 500. We should be well beyond getting close to 500 as a record if you're looking at the Sixers and their expectations coming into this season. So continue to build here. You have a perfect opportunity. No Steph Curry, no Draymond, no Andrew Wiggins. This is a perfect opportunity for the Sixers to get that fourth win in a row that they just haven't been able to do this season. Their longest win streak is 3 games, and they've done that quite a few times this season. Golden State's 2-13 on the road. Once again, don't sleep on them just because it's on the road, just because there's guys out. We can't sleep on the Warriors. And as I said earlier, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, these are both young. Well, I shouldn't say young. These are both guards that can get hot from the three-point line. Jordan Poole is young and, of course, filled with energy, but both can light it up from the three-point line and keep their team in games, right? If one of them gets hot hitting 5+ threes in this game, they can keep the Warriors in this game. So the Sixers just can't come out, lackadaisical, lazy, not looking like they're taking the Warriors serious. And that's where the next key to victory starts. Strong start. They need to start fast. That's a huge thing in this one. Don't give Golden State any room to breathe at the start of this game. Don't give them any hope, right? You get to the end of games and it's close if you allow them to build this confidence without Steph, without all of these key players. By the end of the game, by fourth quarter, these guys are fully confident as if they've been starting for a couple games now, and they're good to close this game out, right? If they're in a close situation, it's going to come down, and it's going to be Jordan Poole if he's hot at the end of the game, Klay Thompson if he's hot at the end of the game. These guys can close games strong, right? These are guys that can score a bunch in one moment, in one quarter even, if they need to. So don't let it come down to that. Get ahead. Get the lead going into the fourth quarter by double digits, right? Don't make this a tight one because it could get really tight and really uncomfortable if you do so. And get Embiid going early, right? We talked about no Draymond. He's a guy that could help on Embiid. No Andrew Wiggins. There's length out there to help on Embiid. Get Embiid going early. He's been on a hell of a tear, averaging over 33 points per game on the season. And he's just been borderline unstoppable. And with the way Harden's been facilitating, they've been running the pick and roll. Good luck. Get Embiid going early. Get in the right groove. And this team's going to look right going into the next game on Monday. The final key to victory, get back on defense. This all plays into energy, playing focused, and being ready to go out here and get a win against the Golden State Warriors, regardless of who's playing for them. But nonetheless, the Warriors are going to have a bunch of young guys out there that they're going to have to mix in. I mentioned Moses Moody, Dante DiVincenzo, Jonathan Kuminga. They're all going to get major minutes tonight. These guys are young, filled with energy. And I imagine the Warriors are going to turn up the pace a notch tonight. They're going to fire up threes. They're going to try to get out on the break, get easy buckets because they don't have their bucket getter, right? Steph Curry, the guy that creates a lot of opportunities for other people and a lot of space. So just being ready, getting back on defense. Don't give up wide open fast break threes. Don't give up wide open fast break layups. Just playing with energy and being ready to come into this game and make a statement, right? Go out here and get the dub. Don't let the national media leave this game and the national audience leave this game saying, damn, what would have happened to Steph play? They would have got smacked. Yeah, you know what I mean? We don't want to have that. We want to eliminate all of that. Get the W. Let's get up by double digits. Like I said, let's make this a comfortable one on a Friday night. I'm sick. I don't want to have to worry. So let's get up comfortable tonight and have some fun. But never lower your expectations. Never be afraid to lower your expectations on the Sixers because they have been known to disappoint. Hopefully not tonight, though. Let's talk about the goal of the game. Every game, obviously, on DSM Pre Game live, whether it's Sixers, whether it's Eagles, Flyers, Phillies, whatever the case may be, Union, we give you a goal of the game. So tonight, my goal is really simple for the Sixers coming out of this one. Win the game. Win the game at home against the depleted Warriors. That is all I'm asking for. And it sounds really easy. It sounds almost pointless to make that the goal of the game, right? But if you look at it, like I said earlier, this would be the longest win streak of the Sixers season so far. The longest. 4 games. That's it. We're asking for a 4-game win streak. That would be the longest win streak for the Philadelphia 76ers on the season. They've had 3 other 3-game winning streaks in the start of this season, in the early part, the first quarter of the season. They've had 3 different 3-game winning streaks and have lost that 4th game each and every time. This is the 4th time. This is the charm. Get that 4th W in a row. And like I said, continue to build, continue to gravitate above 500, right? The 500 mark for your record. We want to get away from that and higher in our seeding in the Eastern Conference at the end of the day. The next thing I want to talk about, player of the game, obviously, and then we'll get into predictions and then best bets, my favorite part, of course, cashing tickets and giving out parlays. But nonetheless, player of the game. This one, not very hard. I mean, you could pick your poison, I guess you could say. Embiid, he could be the player of the game every game, and he probably is. I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to go the same route I went in the last game, the last DSM pregame show. James Harden. And he followed through last game. I know Embiid had over 30, 7 rebounds, a couple of assists. But Harden, he had up over the 13 assist mark again, up in the double-digit assists, had the right amount of points. So he played his heart out on the last one, was able to give us great production. And this one I'm asking for similar production, maybe not even as much, right, in a game that they should take care of. But I'm looking at James Harden. He's the facilitator, right? He's the guy that gets others going. Joel Embiid, he's the guy you go to get that bucket. James Harden is the guy that gets others going. He gets the ball spread out. He makes others comfortable, gets guys easy shots, right? And then I'm looking for him for separation. So facilitation and separation is the key here for James Harden, because I also look at James Harden as the guy who, when the Sixers are creeping up where they could blow a game open, James Harden is that guy that can get you a 3, maybe a back-to-back 3-pointers or a couple buckets in a row to get that lead up over that double-digit mark, expand the lead, and now you have the other team feeling uncomfortable. So facilitation and separation for James Harden tonight is what I'm looking for him to bring to the Philadelphia 76ers. 20-plus points maybe, right around that 18 to 22, anywhere in between there. 10-plus assists, that's easy money for him at this point. When you're playing opposite of Embiid, or I shouldn't say opposite, when you're playing with Embiid, it's really easy to get 10 assists. Like running that pick and roll and just dishing it to him, whether Embiid wants to roll down to the bucket or just pop out for a mid-range, easy money. Embiid is knocking them down so easily right now. 10 assists, it really isn't even a lot to ask for from James Harden. And 5-plus rebounds, just help us out on the boards. Obviously, the Sixers, 29th in rebounding. Warriors, 16th in rebounding, so they're not the greatest, but they're a lot better than what the Sixers are. Warriors are also first in assists per game, which is interesting. 4th in points per game. A lot of that comes from Steph, I'm sure. But nonetheless, I really like James Harden as a player of the game tonight. I feel like he should be able to show out, especially with no Steph Curry. Just that added responsibility. It's not like James Harden was going to be guarding Steph Curry, but when you're on the defensive end and Steph Curry's on the court, if you get switched on to Steph Curry, you have to be very attentive, right? This guy's always running around the floor. You got to keep your eyes on him. So not having that around tonight helps the Sixers, all of the Sixers defensively, as far as the stress and energy that you have to exert into the defensive end when he's on the court. It's really, I look at that as a really underrated factor in this game, right? You can talk about the scoring that Steph does, but just that responsibility, that stress of Steph Curry being on the opposite of you. Next, we're going to get into predictions. So, as you can see, the way this show has been going, you can probably guess where I'm going to go with this one. But I got a Sixers win, obviously. 4 in a row. I need them to get the longest win streak of the season. I'm really banging the table for it. I got the Sixers winning 126 to 110. They take care of this one handedly. They get up over their season average as far as points per game. And just something to point out regarding this in the score, I guess I would say, because they're going to win. What's the score? Why do I have the score so high for the Sixers? Sixers actually haven't scored less than 123 points since James Harden returned against Houston. So they've scored upward of 123 points in each game since James Harden's been back. So that's where I'm looking at as far as the score for the Sixers. But as far as the win, depleted Warriors team, we've gone over this several times. There is no excuse for you to lose this game at home on a Friday night, nationally broadcast. There's absolutely no excuses to lose this game for the Philadelphia 76ers. Finally, we're going to wrap up with best bets. I do apologize, guys. As I mentioned, I am sick. I know this show's going kind of quick, but nonetheless, we're going to get you the content, get you the best bets out here tonight. So first best bet, let's kick it off here. Harden, you guys are going to think I'm crazy. Harden over 10.5 assists tonight. Think it's crazy? Last 3 games for Harden, 15 assists, 16 assists, 12 assists. Excuse me, no. 15 assists, 16 assists, 16 assists. I thought that 6 was a 2, but no, it is a 6. So last 3 games, he's had upward of 15 assists per game. On the season, he's averaging 10.8. So you think Harden over 10.5 assists sounds crazy, but Harden does it with ease. It's at plus 104 the last time I checked. I laid it down on that as my best bet of the night. That is my play of the night that I love. And the reason, just to give further context, when you have Joel Embiid scoring 33 points a game, the way he's scoring it so easily, Harden probably gets, I would have to look into this, and I will, for Scotty Talk Sixers tomorrow, 11 a.m., by the way. I will have this stat for you. Assists from Harden to Embiid. That is the key for me, because Embiid makes things so easy for other players, especially facilitators. So I imagine you could get 5 to 6 to 8 assists to Embiid per night when he gets so many buckets, and as easy as things have been for Embiid. Embiid stays hot, Harden keeps getting assists. But not to mention he gets everybody involved. Let's not underrate that. I love Harden over 10.5 assists tonight at plus 104. My other play of the night, we have DeAnthony Melton back in the lineup. Obviously, I love DeAnthony Melton plays, especially with Maxey out, and even more when Harden was out. But still, beside Harden, I love him for this play. Melton over 2.5 threes at plus 114. Last 4 games for DeAnthony Melton, he has made greater than 3 threes. Those being with James Harden, and one of those games was actually without James Harden. Melton did miss the previous game for the Sixers. But nonetheless, back in the lineup tonight, I love DeAnthony Melton over 2.5 threes. That's at plus 114 the last time I checked. Love DeAnthony Melton beside James Harden. At the end of the day, look at how many threes. No, Curry's not playing, Parcero. Curry's not in this one, man. He's actually he came down with an injury earlier this week, so he's going to be out a couple weeks. So no Curry show tonight in Philly. Clay's game time decision. No Andrew Wiggins. No Draymond Green. So nonetheless, we should be getting this 4th W in a row. But yes, let's go, bro. Nonetheless, DeAnthony Melton over 2.5 threes at plus 114. Last 4 games, he's hit greater than 3 threes in those games each. So I love the DeAnthony Melton over on the threes. But guys, those are going to be my best bets of the night for you. I'm sorry for the quick episode. We usually hit 30 minutes, so it wasn't that quick. Trying to fight through the COVID symptoms, fight through everything, and get the content out to you, because otherwise I'm just sitting here all day, bored to myself, feeling like shit, and feeling like I'm not worth anything, like I'm not doing anything. So definitely happy to be here to bring the content, even if it is for a shorter period of time. Should be back tomorrow for NFL Turf Talk with Dylan. We'll be here 10 a.m., break down the Saturday slate, the Sunday slate, and we'll still get the content to you. And then hopefully after that, I'll get my Scotty Talk Sixers. If I'm feeling up to it, I'll get the Scotty Talk Sixers episode out tomorrow as well. But I'll keep you guys posted. But thanks for tuning in, guys. It was a pleasure as always. Go Sixers. Let's get the dub. 4-game win streak. That would be the longest of the season. They've gotten the 3-game win streak 3 times this season and have not been able to capitalize on that 4th win. Let's get the 4th one in a row. Longest win streak of the season. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, man. Me and the fiance are both going through it here, but we'll make it. We'll fight. We'll keep fighting just like the Sixers, and we'll make it through. But nonetheless, guys, have a great rest of your evening. Go Sixers. Let's get the dub. Peace, guys.